Hello and welcome to a very different type of video. I know this is not gonna be for everyone, but I really want to share this. I was last night I was scrolling down YouTube and I came across this video. How the universe is way bigger than you think. I love space and I love thinking about space and how small we are and stuff like that and what's beyond what we know. But I'm not an expert by any means. I'm just, I just like getting my mind blown by this because, yeah, this video I never seen it. It has 21 million views. It's 3 years old, I think, but I never saw it. And I saw the title and I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. And I watched it and it was good. It was good, and I really want to share it with you because I find this very interesting and very creepy actually as well. So that's why I was like, okay, why not make a video on it? So yeah, I'm gonna, react, share some thoughts. I'm not gonna add something like very, very like well thought of or stuff like that. I'm just gonna give you my opinion and yeah, we'll see how this video does. If you like this stuff, you can let me know in the comments, but I really want to share.
Earth. You live here on this planet somewhere, and everything that you've ever known is located right here. But just how small exactly is Earth when compared to the scale of the entire universe?
Yeah, we all know that's gonna be very gigantic, but
Let's start by zooming out to where we can see our nearest cosmic neighbor, the Moon. You may think that the Moon is very close to Earth since it dominates our night skies, but in reality the Moon isn't this close to our planet, it's actually about this far.
That's one thing already. Yeah, well, the scale is like, well, still, how far like the Moon is? It's like I knew already like the Moon was further than you saw or than you think, but
away.
It's crazy.
384,400 kilometers.
That's a lot of kilometers.
Right now, on average, you could fit 30 entire Earths in between this distance, and if you somehow were able to drive a car at a constant 100 kilometers per hour speed, it would take you about 160 days to drive the entire distance. Despite this incredible distance, however, 12 humans have actually set foot here, representing the furthest away that any individual human has ever.
Like how far the Moon is and how small the Moon is.
Been away from the Earth.
Yeah, it's so cool, man.
One of humanity's greatest achievements. This is what the Earth would look like from there if you were standing there with them. And if you wanted to communicate with somebody back at home, it would take a message about 2.5 seconds to travel.
Remember this, so 1.2 seconds for a message to go to Earth.
This is a photo that was taken on Mars, and that tiny dot that you see there is Earth as seen from the Martian surface. On average, Mars is an incredible 225 million kilometers away from Earth, but that distance can be as high as 401 million kilometers. That means that whenever humanity finally gets around to landing a human on the planet, that person will be 986 times further away from Earth.
That's crazy, man. 986 times. Think about that. Like the moon landing was, is still like in my head like crazy. Like how they do it, but this is like a whole next level, right?
The Moon were. In addition, the time delay for sending a message from Mars back to Earth isn't just 2.5 seconds. It's actually more like 20 minutes.
20 minutes already for a message.
Instant communication in the event of an emergency. Impossible.
Oh yeah, that's something. Yeah, that's true. Like if there's an emergency, you have to wait 40 minutes to get an answer because 20 minutes to Earth and 20 minutes back.
Even further away, we can find the Voyager 1 space probe, which is the furthest away man-made object from Earth. It is currently located 138 AUs from the Earth. AU meaning astronomical unit, which is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which means that Voyager 1 is 138 times further away from us than the Sun is. At some point on its long voyage, Voyager 1 turned its camera around and took this photograph. It may not look like much at first, but in my opinion, this is the greatest single photograph ever taken in all of human history.
Yeah, I was like, why? Yeah, this is just, it's not, like I said, maybe it doesn't look like much at first sight, but, let's see what he has to say.
This tiny pale blue dot is Earth, and I don't think that anybody has ever said something as amazing about this as Carl Sagan when he said, "If you look at it, you see a dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, Everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever lived out their lives. The aggregate of all our joys and sufferings. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and every forager. Every hero and coward. Every creator and destroyer of civilizations. Every king and every peasant. Every young couple in love. Every hopeful child. Every mother and every father. Every inventor and explorer. Every teacher of morals. Every corrupt politician. Every superstar. Every supreme leader. Every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Voyager 1 is currently traveling at 17 kilometers.
Like, you never think of that. Like, I was walking down the street earlier today, and I was like, I'm so small. I was thinking about this video, and you're like, what does it, like, why? What does this matter, you know? Well, I'm not like, that sounds very dark, but that's not what I mean. I'm like, everything is just so unimportant, you know?
Every single second.
You know what I mean?
But even at that speed, it won't break out of the reach of our solar system for another 30,000 years. Once we go beyond the solar system, we arrive in our interstellar neighborhood. Here we shift to the light-year unit of measurement, which is the distance that light travels in a full Earth year, or about 9.461 trillion kilometers. The star Proxima Centauri here is the closest other star to us other than our sun, but
it's crazy as hell how we all know this stuff.
24 light years away from us. To put that into perspective, if it was heading in the right direction, it would still take Voyager 1 over 70,000 years to reach it. In other words, if you drove your car at 100 kilometers an hour like
good
in
luck
our
with that
previous example to the
driving
moon,
there,
it would take over 6 times longer than the entire age of the universe is just to finally get there, and it wouldn't even exist still when you arrived. When we zoom out even further, we can see the entire Milky Way Galaxy, inside of which Earth is located right here.
So,
this yellow dot is...
I thought when watching the video, okay, we're getting pretty big now, eh?
The furthest extent of
we're not getting pretty big.
Broadcasts throughout history, which means that any possible aliens who live outside of this range are totally unaware of humanity's
That's
presence.
crazy as well.
It's complete silence outside of this yellow dot as far as we are currently aware, but the entire galaxy spans over 100,000 light years from end to end. There are over 100 billion stars and over 100 billion planets inside of our galaxy. But you have never seen the full glory of the galaxy at night, because 99% of the stars that you can see with the naked eye are limited to this small, tiny region right here. But even this massive galaxy
I'm still like, damn, I watched it yesterday.
Out there, zooming out even further, and we arrive at the local group of galaxies, a collection of 54 different galaxies that is about 10 million light years across.
So now we're getting bigger.
Zooming out even further, and we can see the Virgo supercluster, of which the local group here is just a tiny segment of. There are at least 100 other groups of galaxies just like our own local group inside of here.
So I was like, okay, this is getting pretty crazy now.
The distance from one side to the other is a mind-numbing 110 million light years.
So remember, the closest star was 4 point something light years away. So this is 110 million light years across.
But even the massive Virgo supercluster is nothing but a quiet and tiny lobe of the Great Laniakea supercluster, an enormous structure that is home to
You can't think of this. It's like, how do you capture this in your head? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, how? How? You can't imagine it. You just can't at all.
As well as 100,000 other galaxies. The distance from one side to the other is 520 million light years, but from even there we can zoom out all the way to the
Look at that! Wait.
Universe.
We're gonna see that again.
There we can zoom out all the way to the entire observable universe and see that even the titanic Laniakea supercluster is just a tiny and insignificant part of everything. This is the observable universe.
I saw videos of this already, but I think this video is very clear and it does it very well to explain it.
Contains everything that we know of. It is home to at least 2 trillion different and individual galaxies, which together contain more stars than there are grains of sand on the entire Earth. The distance from Earth to any side of the observable universe is 46.5 billion light years, which means that the entire width is 93 billion light years across.
But now, the thing is, I was like, okay, this is what we know, right?
What's perhaps even more interesting, however, is what actually lies beyond the observable universe. Keep in mind that the observable universe is all that we can currently see, and it's entirely possible that the rest of the universe outside of it is vastly larger and more fantastic than we can possibly ever imagine. We simply don't know what else is out there because the light from these incredibly distant places has not yet had enough time in the universe's history to reach us yet back on Earth. And the light from some places may never reach us at all.
That's crazy.
Because some parts of space very far away from Earth are expanding away from us faster than the speed of light, that means that the light from these places will never, in an infinite amount of time, reach Earth. Meaning that even if humanity is eternal and exists forever, there will
actually
still be
never
an
ever
unknown
know
number of places in the universe that we will never know about or ever see. So, it is very likely that as unbelievably enormous as it seems, the observable universe is just a tiny slice of what we can currently see of the entire universe. According to the theory of cosmic inflation that was proposed by Dr. Alan Guth, if it is assumed that cosmic inflation began at 10 to the negative 37th of a second after the Big Bang, and with the assumption that the size of the universe before inflation began was equal to its age times the speed of light, then this would seem to suggest that at the present day, the entire universe is 150 sextillion times larger than the observable universe.
Even that number.
That number, for reference, looks like this.
So approximately, the entire universe, so the observable universe was the thing you saw, like the last one. Approximately, we're not talking facts here, but the entire universe is that number times bigger than what we know exists. That's
this many zeros. Let this number sink in for just a moment. This would be similar to you thinking that the entire observable universe, everything that you could see, was the size of a light bulb, but then realizing that in reality the entire universe is larger than the former planet of Pluto. Imagine a light bulb in the center of Pluto, but we inside the light bulb were totally unaware that Pluto existed outside of it, and that's a similar situation to this. We are all so unbelievably small, but you shouldn't worry, because all that means is that there is so much left out there for us to discover together. This video...
Okay, thank you, Squarespace. Wait, that was a nice... I'm gonna put the video here.
And everything that you...
So, I wanna stop at this image, because this is nice. I just wanted to share this with you. I don't know why. I just thought like, yeah, this is something cool to share, something I'm interested in. And like I said, I'm no expert at all, but I'm just like, I'm so interested in space, and I watched another video about black holes, which is very interesting as well. But it's so hard to think about how big everything else is. It's so hard. Try and capture that in your mind. Like, how do you even try and see that? It's so cool. And it makes you feel so... Like, who cares about... Like I said, if there's something else or some other creatures, of course we are not gonna see them or like interact with them, because that's just... You saw how small we are, and I already knew that. Like I told you, I know how small we are, but this video captured it so well, and I just want to share that and hopefully blow your mind a bit as well, because it's very hard to capture that in your mind. But it's so interesting, and it's so cool to learn about, and yeah. And like he said, like everything you ever known, every hero, every pop star, everything that happened is just here. So you can't imagine the other stuff that's happening everywhere else. Yeah, I just still now I'm blown away how how small we are. But I'm happy with my small community, so yeah. I really appreciate every single one of you, and I don't know why I just went on that road, but I just want to thank you for everybody that's liking, subscribing, and watching, and interacting, and supporting me in every single video. And this is something I just wanted to share. I don't know if you're interested or not, but yeah, this was fun to share and to do and to react. Yeah, and hopefully, have a discussion about this in the comments. I really want to know your thoughts on this and how you feel. And I hope to see you in the next time. Is gonna be gameplay, or a reaction video on Halo. I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I did. Like, subscribe, as always, and I will hope to see you. And I hope to see you in the next video. That's what I'm trying to say. Goodbye.